Terrastellar Sneasel, okay. Not Scarf Pelipper. Sneasel just gets wiped out by that dual wing beat. Alright, Scyther got to do its job. If you follow VGC, you've probably already seen this team that Stefan, Pengy, Mott used to win the Monterrey Regional Championship recently. But, of course, I see a few unusual Pokemon on a team, especially when it won the tournament. I mean, this is pretty much what I dream of for these Tuesday tournament team videos. Some unusual picks that also won the event. It only happens so often, but have to take a look at it when it does, right? And to my understanding, this team is meant to play sort of a defensive game centered on this Moringa Berry Garganacl, or Garganacl. I'm not really sure. I default to Garganacl because Knackle Stack, Garganacl, it seems to kind of fit, but Garganacl might actually be the intended pronunciation. In any case, Moringa Berry is kind of an obscure item. If you don't know what it does, when this thing is hit by a special attack, it will get a special defense boost, which of course patches up the weaker of its 2 defensive stats. So this Pokemon is well positioned to sit on the field for quite a while, doing damage over time with Salt Cure, which does only a little bit of damage up front, but residual damage every turn as long as the opponent doesn't switch out, with, I believe it's rock-type damage, but it also is effectively super effective into water and steel types, but quite a bit of residual damage over time. And if they do switch their Pokemon around to avoid the Salt Cure damage, you get them with Stealth Rock, so a rare situation where entry hazards are useful in VGC. You can keep it healthy with Recover, and I don't know Pengy's EVs. I don't think they're public, but I've just put full bulk into this thing. I imagine that is what is intended. Then you have a bunch of supports to make it even bulkier. You have the Aurora Veil Ninetales. Aurora Veil, of course, functioning like Reflect and Light Screen combined into one move. You have the Assault Vest Incineroar, able to intimidate things and make life harder for certain special attackers. And then it seems like I gather Garganacl's main problem on this team is dealing with fighting types, especially Annihilate stuff, because Annihilate next to Mousehold can boost up and overwhelm it. And that's where Scyther comes in. Sylveon and Gholdengo are also very helpful into fighting types. They also just are Pokemon that can do big damage. Sylveon with the Throat Spray, and the spread Fairy-type Hyper Voice, and Gholdengo with mainly Make It Rain. And of course, Choice Scarf Gholdengo can outspeed some threats and drop them with big attacks, or just do a lot of damage, spread damage around with that Make It Rain, which Sylveon can also do with Hyper Voice to create openings for Salt Cure to get some KOs. Sylveon also is able to play a bit of a support role here with the Yawn to force switches or make Pokemon fall asleep. And you can use Wish with some careful positioning to help keep Garganacl healthy, I'm sure. Or Incineroar, or Scyther. But then Scyther is the other really unusual Pokemon on this team. Surprisingly bulky with an Eviolite, hits hard with Technician boosted dual Wing Beat, and I gather it's the main anti-Annihilate piece on this team. But I'm gonna have to try to figure out for myself how this team works. I mean, bulky game plan centered on Garganacl I think I can do, but do I actually really understand how to properly use it? Well, anyway, let's get on the ladder and get some games. Oh, I forgot to change my background. I just recorded a Draft League set right before this, so yeah, you get the Toronto Rock Slide background for this one as well. I am also logged into the Toronto Rock Slide account. Okay, I am gonna fix that, but I'll play out this game first. Whoops. I pasted the team into Showdown. Here, you can see. I just played week 2. Like less than an hour ago. Alright, Vivian, Mimikyu, Gholdengo, Incineroar. Oh, they're also playing Garganacl stuff, huh? Well, let's see if I can figure it out better. I feel like in a vacuum, I probably want to be using Ninetales Garganacl early on, get that damage quickly into things, and get the Aurora Veil. But I'm not sure that's true. I could be looking to create openings with Gholdengo early on instead. Especially with the Clefairy here, right? I can click Make It Rain into that pretty easily. But I'm going to stick to my gut here. I'm going to bring Ninetales Garganacl. I don't think they have anything that I need Scyther for. Dual Wing Beat might be nice into Mimikyu, but I doubt it breaks Disguise and KOs in the same turn anyway. I think I do want Gholdengo for this. I'm going to bring Sylveon as well. I don't think this Garganacl has Wide Guard, because the one I'm using doesn't have Wide Guard, and this looks like the team might have similar inspiration. Or I could bring... Actually, I'm going to bring Incineroar to threaten the Gholdengo. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, Garganacl, Mimikyu. What is Mimikyu doing on this team? Is it setting Trick Room? Well, I think I'm down to just Aurora Veil and Stealth Rock. Seems like a good sort of neutral turn 1 play in a lot of matchups with this team. Just at face value, I don't actually have that kind of knowledge of how this team plays. It's my intuitive idea of what I probably want to open with if I'm not pressured into doing something else, right? Because immediately I get this, because the screen benefits of Aurora Veil are huge for Garganacl's bulk over the course of the game, and of course Stealth Rock. Once I set it up once, nobody typically runs hazard clearing options in VGC, so it's set up once and it's there for the rest of the game. Let's just, this Mimikyu is kind of scaring me with that Swords Dance setup. Let's try to break its disguise with Blizzard and then Salt Cure it. Could also get a Blizzard Freeze here. We activate their Moranga Berry, no freeze. They Salt Cure Ninetales, which I think I'm okay with. Oh, it's Keyberry Mimikyu. So Keyberry is the physical counterpart to the Moranga Berry, as I'm sure is pretty obvious there. I don't really see any downside to continuing to click Blizzard here, and I think I'll just go for a Salt Cure into their Garg at this point. You can see the damage adding up on Mimikyu. Mimikyu goes for Phantom Force, but it's going to take Salt Cure damage. Of course, I can't Protect around the Phantom Force, because it bypasses Protect. But I can Protect to avoid getting Salt Cured here. I'll throw off another Blizzard. Maybe I get a freeze into their Garganacl. I've hit it multiple times with Blizzard now. It's not that crazy if it happens. And with Purifying Salt, hopefully I take the... Does Phantom Force break Protect or just bypass it? Oh, it breaks Protect. Okay. With Purifying Salt, we take the Phantom Force reasonably well. Mimikyu's knocked out. Both Salt guys are themselves salted. This is not what I was expecting for the first game of the video in multiple ways. Good time to mention, by the way, I don't have a ton of time to record this right now, and I'm guessing this team plays long games, but we'll see. There's their Goldango. The problem with Ninetales in this game is I got my Aurora Veil, but doesn't do a ton after that. How much has Blizzard been doing to the Garganacl? I can keep fishing for freezes. Yeah, it doesn't do much, but I can keep fishing for freezes. I'm good with that. And I think I'm also down to cover. It's Power Gem Goldango. I thought about the Terra Flying there. To better Make It Rain. But I didn't go for it. Lucky me. Goldango also has Power Gem, so yeah, they're definitely inspired by the same team. Aurora Veil is gone now, and so is the Snow. I haven't managed to freeze anything. Don't know that I want to switch around. I could actually switch Incineroar in here. They probably don't click Salt Cure into the slot immediately. And then I can bring Ninetales back in later. I would like to get a Salt Cure. Goldango is probably Choice Locked into that Power Gem. It still does a fair bit of damage though, right? But if I get a Salt Cure into this slot, I get that boosted damage into the Steel type, and I also cover for a switch. The Power Gem the Incineroar slot. That's a good call by them, but it is Assault Vest Incineroar. I've invested a lot of special bulk on it, so it takes that okay. I can knock off the Goldango slot now. I think I'd rather actually just U-turn. No, because then I would want to get Ninetales back in. But I don't want Ninetales to take a Salt Cure when it's already pretty low. Don't really want Goldango to take a Salt Cure either. This is maybe a little bit too weak, but okay. It's Incineroar last. We get Stealth Rock damage on it. We get Knock Off. We remove its Safety Goggles. Okay, it's not AV on this team. And I think I let Incineroar... Even though Incineroar is strong into Goldango... yeah, I don't really like this, but I think I realistically do let it go down here to get Ninetales back in and save my Goldango for the late game. Their Garg already doesn't have an item. Let's just fish for the burn on it, honestly. Surely I ought to get a status into this Garg sooner or later, right? Okay, they just knocked out Incineroar. I kind of figured they would. Although I missed a chance to Salt Cure their Incineroar there, because their Fake Out went into the other thing. It's Terra Fire Incineroar, by the way. I didn't clock that until now. Now I can get Aurora Veil back up. It'll be the last thing this Ninetales does, but I can do it. And nope, not Stealth Rock. Salt Cure. You can do Incin. Riveting gameplay, huh? But you know what? There are players, and I gather from what people are saying about this team that Stefan Mott is one of them, who really love this kind of playstyle and do find it to be a lot of fun. And I find it to be fun sometimes. I'm not really trying to hate on it. I'm not sure it's the best content in the world, but I mean, seeing unusual Pokemon shine is always pretty good content, and yeah, for sure. For a decent number of players, this is actually super fun gameplay. And I enjoy it sometimes. I definitely think it has its place. Do I lock in to Make It Rain here? It's awkward, but I think I probably do. And then if they Terra their Garganacl, I can Salt Cure it. The only thing is Goldango, right? Like, their Goldango is an issue. I mean, we'll be speed tying. But I'm down to Terra Steel. I don't think I'm ever clicking Terra Flying. And then we get big damage, and we are not weak to Shadow Ball. Let's go for a recover here. They go Incin, okay. Make It Rain does a lot of damage. I'm the only one left with Salt to throw around. Goldango will not be able to switch out anymore. Either one, but I mean theirs. Their Pokemon are so low. If I win the speed tie, that should... Oh, they have Fake Out now. What turn is this? 10. Yeah, so I can't just win the speed tie and win the game, but I mean, they just don't have much left in the tank at this point. They don't Fake Out, so actually I do win the speed tie and win the game. Never mind, I was able to do that. Alright. Alright, I'm going to log into the correct account that's higher on the ladder. This is the first ladder game that Toronto Rock Slide has ever played, and then I'll resume the recording. One sec. We'll definitely keep the Toronto Rock Slide background, though. Gotta support the team. Anyway. Let's get a game a little bit higher up. Porygon 2, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Ursaluna, Goldango, and Kilowattrel. Okay. Well, this one doesn't have another Garganacl, so that's nice, but they do have a Goldango. Goldango is super threatening into this team. I guess you beat it with your own Scarf Goldango, and with AB Incineroar. So, yeah, I mean, the answers are pretty straightforward. It is a giant threat to, you know, the basic game plan of just have Garg sit on the field forever. Also, I have to be careful with Incineroar into what could be competitive Kilowattrel. That said, I'm going to go Ninetales Garg lead again, because that's the most intuitive lead for me with this team, and I haven't figured out other modes yet. And I think I do bring Incineroar and Goldango again to this game. I think that's pretty straightforward. There's not really anything here that I need Scyther for, I don't think. Dual Wing Beat would be nice into Amoonguss, but so is Blizzard. I'm surprised, actually, that they led with this Trick Room stuff. It is strong, but, I mean, I'm pretty sure Purifying Salt protects Garganacl from Spore, so... Anyway, I don't think there's much reason to bring Scyther to this game. I don't really see a specific niche for Sylveon here anyway. Let's Aurora Veil and... Stealth Rock or Salt Cure Amoonguss? I think Stealth Rock is fine. I would kind of like to... I don't hate the idea of clicking Blizzard turn 1 just to try to catch the Amoonguss, but maybe they switch it out or they protect it while they set Trick Room. They don't do either of those things. They click Spore into Garganacl, but yeah, Purifying Salt does protect it. Another advantage of Garganacl, I guess, that ability is kind of obscure because nothing else gets it. A lot of people are unfamiliar with it. I'm going to protect... Actually, I could just switch Goldango in here because it's also immune to Spore thanks to its ability, and they don't have an obvious threat into it. So even though we have the Choice Scarf, it is a pretty free switch, I think. And I'll go for Salt Cure into the Amoonguss. The one downside for me here... Okay, Porygon 2 turning into a fighting type isn't great for me, but also both these Pokemon have recovery. Amoonguss at least has to switch out to use it. Wow, that Terra Blast did not do much, actually, and that was before the Moringa Berry. So, Porygon 2 is not that threatening, actually. I do just have Scarf Make It Rain here. I could trick the Scarf onto something, but I don't think they leave these Pokemon in. I'm not sure I benefit from the trick. I don't know, it's a little bit awkward, but... I think I'm down to just Make It Rain and get whatever damage I get from that, and click Salt Cure into... Oh, it's Covert Cloak Amoonguss, by the way. It didn't get Salt Cured. The Salt Cure effect isn't there, which means it has a Covert Cloak. I think I'm down. I might want to be recovering more liberally, but I think I'm down to click Salt Cure again. This time into the Porygon 2 slot, because I know it'll do the secondary effect. I could have gotten their Goldango with the Salt Cure. Oh well. And now their Goldango underspeeding mine will be a little awkward. It actually might have been pretty funny to trick the Scarf onto the Ursaluna, although I'm not sure of everything that follows from that. We got a ton of damage on Ursaluna, though, and there's a lot of residual damage available. There's nobody I really want to switch in now, which is a little bit awkward, but I think I can sack Ninetales. I don't think I need the Aurora Veil that much. It is nice to have. I think I don't want to sack Incineroar right away because it's so strong into their Goldango, although my Goldango beats their Goldango outside of Trick Room. Still, I don't want to be fully reliant on that, so I'll go Ninetales here, anticipating that I'm probably sacking it. I think I'll just protect Garganacl this turn, but I can think about Terra Flying if the Ursaluna is still around next turn. Goldango protects, okay. Ursaluna clicks Earthquake. No, and actually Ninetales as an Ice type in Snow will take that pretty nicely, and then I can protect Ninetales this next turn. Get out of Trick Room. I'll Terra Flying here to avoid another Earthquake, and Salt Cure Goldango. If they don't switch Ursaluna out, though, that they just lose it to residual damage here. They clicked Facade into Ninetales, so not the best use of the Terra Flying, but we get out of Trick Room and we get rid of Ursaluna, and Goldango takes a ton from that Salt Cure damage. Porygon 2 is back. I think I'm going to switch Incineroar in here so I can get the Snow back up with Ninetales. And I think I'm going to protect. The Salt Cure is really pressuring that Goldango. Make It Rain comes out, so it'll throw away its Nasty Plot boost to only do, or half its boost to only do 29% to Incineroar, and then it drops the Salt Cure damage. Yeah, into a Steel type, that I'm not even ready for how quickly that Salt Cure damage adds up. Again, it will not add up into Amoonguss, but they also can't Spore Garganacl. And I can Flare Blitz Amoonguss here and Salt Cure Porygon 2, or they can forfeit. That works too. Yeah, so you have to be ready to play a particular way for this team, and obviously I'm still playing it fairly straightforwardly and not really unlocking its full potential, but it is fun. I do like a team that plays the game a little bit differently from what I might be used to, and I do enjoy this sort of bulky, grinded out playstyle sometimes. I mean, my Mono Ghost team tries to do it a little bit less successfully with Annihilate, right? So it's not completely new to me. There are definitely nuances to this team that I'm not going to figure out in a single video. This person accepted open team sheets. I like to do that if my opponent does it first, just because it feels polite. Otherwise, I'm fine with playing closed team sheets. They've got Yawn Hydrapple supporting their Garganacl. That's actually pretty scary because that's a bulky mon. I got this mean look Murkrow too. Mean look Haze Murkrow. And their Goldango has specs instead of Scarf, so mine can outspeed. That's very good to know, except that they have Tailwind on their team, so it can't always outspeed. But I'm just going to do this. I think I probably just bring the same 4 I've been bringing so far, right? I mean, there's a case for Sylveon this game into Hydrapple and Murkrow. But I feel like I have to take the Goldango super seriously whenever the opponent has one. And I should probably bring my 2 best Goldango answers, which are Incineroar and my own Goldango. Okay, they go Goldango Murkrow. That Specs Goldango is still a giant threat, right? I mean, Garganacl resists Shadow Ball with the Purifying Salt, but I might want to Terra Flying immediately to handle Make It Rain. That, of course, then makes me weak to the Ninetales Ice moves, though. Flying feels like kind of a weird defensive Terra type. I assume it's here to be immune to Ursaluna ground attacks, or at least that's the main thing. I guess it resists Grass as well. So it's strong into like Rillaboom. But it is kind of an unusual choice for a defensive Terra type and feels a little bit awkward at times. I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna Aurora Veil, Terra Flying, and I'm actually gonna Salt Cure Goldango immediately, I think. Yeah, they go straight for the Terra Steel Make It Rain. Wow. Knocks Ninetales down to the Sash. Does 40% to Garg even after the Terra. It does give me the Moranga Berry. Oh, they can just haze away the Moranga Berry boost though. Oh, this Murkrow is kind of cooking. And they can haze away the Make It Rain drop. That's the scariest thing here, because I'm really heavily pressured to recover now. I think I'm gonna click Blizzard. No, they have Tailwind up. There's not really any use in sacking Ninetales. I think I'm gonna go Incineroar and protect. Oh, they switched their own Gargan. Oh, I've made myself weak to Salt Cure as well, not just their ice attacks. Yeah, I wonder how Pengy landed on Terra Flying. I mean, like I said, I can think of some things that it does, but it feels a little bit awkward for sure. That said, I'm just going to try to get my Stealth Rock here, because I didn't do that turn 1 this time. They mean look Incineroar. It can still U-turn out. We deny them the Moranga Berry, at least. They get their Stealth Rock, which makes it less appealing to U-turn Incineroar, but I think I'm just going to knock off Murkrow and recover here. I'll play Salt Cure into Incineroar. Okay. Murkrow's Eviolite is gone. I get the recovery. Ninetales drops immediately if I try to U-turn out to it. I also... it's been so long since I played singles, I don't really remember how these Stealth Rock interactions work. I don't think it will put Snow back up. I think it will faint before it can do that. So Ninetales is now no longer useful except just as a pure sacrifice pivot. I mean, I could, like, you know, use it to reset the fake out counter or something. I think I probably want to get my Goldango in. Alright, let's do U-turn into Murkrow and Salt Cure into their Garganacl. They mean look my Garganacl. Why isn't there anything that shows up on Showdown for mean look? It seems like an oversight. Actually, I'm not sure mean look works on... Okay, it does. Yeah, we Salt Cure each other. I get Goldango in. I can click Make It Rain now. I think I will. They might have brought Incineroar, but, you know, I'll make them prove it. And I'll look for a Salt Cure into something else. There's their Incineroar. But I still have 4 Pokemon, so I can still sack Ninetales to switch Goldango out and then get it back in. We get Salt Cure into Incineroar. We get a lot of damage into Incineroar. A lot of damage. I kind of want to just click Make It Rain right now, actually. I don't know if I can. Or, I can. I know I can. I don't know if I should. Whatever. Let's find out together. No. No, 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 no. Let's be responsible. Let's do... It's such a cool play if it works. Alright, let's go. Let's be irresponsible. Never mind. Protect. Yeah, that was pretty irresponsible of me. Well, that's called content. I lose Goldango, I lose Ninetales immediately when it comes back in. I have no good damage into their Garg. Yeah. Okay, so I threw the game. I should have switched the Goldango out there, and I called that I should do that, and I still didn't do it. Oh, that's Pokemon sometimes. Let's set up the worst endgame in the world, shall we? Maybe I can burn it? Protecting, huh? I had a free recover there. Is this worse than the Reg A Dondozo endgames? I don't know. Where 2 Dondozo with Unaware would face each other and the games would take the full 20 minutes, each one, in a best of 3 set. Because they'd both be locked in with their Tatsugiri partners. I've used 3 recovers, and they've only used 1, so... I think if I don't get this Flare Blitz burn, I actually just forfeit. I don't think I make you sit through this. My opponent and I both deserve to sit through this because we're running these teams, but... Yeah, I'm not gonna make you. GG to them. It's a different game if I sack... Excuse me, not if I sack. If I switch out the Goldango when I said that I should. Content Brain 1 out. Alright, well, what do we get next? Hopefully not another Garganacl. I can't really complain when I'm using one, but it's a rough mirror for sure. Instead, we get almost standard Reg H Rain, except that they have Gastrodon, where you usually see Incineroar. Pelipper, Gastrodon, or Chowdon, Basculegion, Amoonguss, and Gholdengo. So obviously throwing a rock type at this is kind of tricky, but Salt Cure does so much damage into all those water types. This might be a game where I don't want to lead Ninetales, right? Because they can get weather control and deny the Aurora Veil if I do. Also, this is probably a game where I want to be pretty liberally clicking the Terra Flying, except then I also have to be careful of Electroshot. So yeah, I definitely need Ninetales, but I don't think I want to lead with it. How do I beat our Chowdon with this team? Maybe Sylveon? Maybe Sylveon. It's especially bulky and I can yawn the Archaldon. I'm down to, I think, to lead Sylveon, Garganacl, bring Ninetales, and Gholdengo. Garganacl, Ninetales, Gholdengo have felt important every game so far, and Incineroar most games. I just haven't gotten a matchup yet where... I haven't gotten a matchup yet that seems like the kind where one wants to have Scyther, you know? I'm going to play this turn a little bit slowly. I think Pelipper switches in to create some kind of threat. Actually, it might matter quite a lot which slot the Pelipper switch... actually, I think I should double protect this turn, because it might matter quite a lot which slot the Pelipper switches into, and actually Pelipper doesn't switch in at all. Basculegion goes for flip turn. Okay. I understand. And our Chowdon goes for Electroshot. Yeah, that's hard for me to deal with too, because I can't switch safely. Do Ninetales. Just yawn our Chowdon and click Stealth Rock and hope Garg gets through this turn. That flip turn does so much damage. How do we take a +1 Electroshot though? Even if I take it well, when am I finding an opening to recover? Oh, the Electroshot goes into Sylveon. Okay, that changes things. That changes things. I think now I can go Ninetales and recover. Surf Pelipper. That's a... I don't know if that's a new one, but I certainly haven't seen it recently. Gives me my Moranga Berry, though. They have to take the charging turn for Electroshot because they changed the weather. I can get Aurora Veil now. They let our Chowdon fall asleep, also. I am down to... Salt Cure its slot. They're still just going for that Surf. Ooh. I am letting Garganacl get kind of low. They're not switching. I can freeze. Oh, it's Scarf Pelipper. It's faster than Ninetales because it's Scarfed. But I can freeze dry the Pelipper next turn. And I guess I have to protect. Yeah. Yeah, Ninetales survives thanks to the Aurora Veil. Pelipper's knocked out. Our Chowdon is taking a lot of Salt Cure damage. It's also racking up... It's also burning through its sleep turns, and this Basculegion is a giant threat. I'll freeze dry the Basculegion slot. I just protected Garg. I think I might want to switch Garg out, even though it gives up the Moranga Berry boost. I think I would rather sack Sylveon than Garg here. Maybe not. The Aqua Jet Ninetales. Okay. Our Chowdon wakes up. Goes for the Electroshot, but it just drops the Salt Cure damage. I get Scarf Gholdengo here. Basculegion is probably choice locked into that Aqua Jet. I'll Shadow Ball. Rage Powder works on Good as Gold, right? I asked that in a recent one as well. But if I can pressure the Amoonguss, I think it's okay. And also, let's do something really funny. Let's see about putting Amoonguss to sleep. Yeah, Basculegion is definitely locked into that Aqua Jet. They let me Shadow Ball it, but they also turn it into a Water type, so it survives. Sylveon takes a nap, but Amoonguss is about to take a nap, and they can't make Gholdengo take a nap, and they forfeit. That didn't feel like the cleanest game from me. And to be honest, the Rain offense puts out so much pressure in this format. You need to be pretty brave to bring a team like this into a metagame where that's prominent, I think. But I did manage to figure this one out, at least. It was tricky, though, for sure. I was on the edge of my seat every turn there, and here's some more Rain now. But I have Masquerain, even. Rain with Masquerain. Masquerain Rain. Pelipper, Chowdon, Masquerain, Rillaboom, Palafin, and Houndoom. Once again, a lot of Salt Cure targets, but The weather control feels massively important. Do I lead Sylveon and Garganacl again? Was that a sensible lead? I don't know, I felt like it was okay. Putting their Chaladon to sleep actually felt like it made a pretty significant difference last game. I'm still not running into... Fighting types are so important into Reg H, and I'm still... In Reg H, and I'm still just not running into any fighting types. So I still haven't brought Scyther to a game. And I don't think this one is good. I mean, maybe I bring Incineroar to this for the Rillaboom and the Palafin. It could be Clear Amulet Palafin. I'll just bring Goldango. But I still haven't found a matchup where I want to bring the Scyther, even though the Scyther is so important to this team. I gather. I know Pengy has said that he didn't use Scyther because it's his favorite Pokemon or anything like that, but because it has a specific niche on the team. Okay, no weather yet. I think I just Hyper Voice here and Stealth Rock. Struggle Bug. Okay, so that'll weaken Sylveon's damage output, but not Garganacl's. And it gives me the Moringa Berry pretty freely. Okay, they do deny the Stealth Rock, though. They have Taunt Houndoom. That's good to know about. I think I'd like to Yawn Houndoom, actually. I want pressure on the Houndoom, and Assault Cure it too. I want pressure on the Houndoom because the Taunt is actually a pretty significant threat to Garganacl. Oh, it's Beat Up. Side Beat Up into our Chaladon. I didn't really think about what the Houndoom would do when I saw it at preview. It's not a Pokemon that I see often, but these are some cool attacks, for sure. I mean, Taunt is actually... We get Assault Cure crit. Taunt is actually pretty threatening into Garganacl. They have me kind of scrambling to deal with that. I'm not so afraid of... Oh, Body Press from our Chaladon actually is pretty scary. I'm going to go on the Chaladon slot. Body Press from our Chaladon is actually pretty scary, especially when I can't protect Garganacl. I think I Terra Flying here. I know it makes me weak to Electro Shot. I can disrupt that. Assault Cure will not stop Defense Boost will not stop the Assault Cure residual damage, so that much is good. Now Pelipper's here. Okay, Taunt is over. That's big. I think here I want to... Double Protect. Let the Archaladon fall asleep if it's going to. And it looks like it will. It turns into a Ghost type, which I think does reduce the Assault Cure damage. Still does a lot. Now I'll change the weather. And I think I'll Assault Cure... Actually... I think I'll take the chance to Stealth Rock while I have it. Houndoom comes in. I could have knocked that out with Salt Cure this turn. I'm going to say Salt Cure so many times in this video that it's not going to feel like a real phrase to me anymore. I want this Archaladon out of here. I'm just going to click Blizzard. No Aurora Veil right now. And I'll Salt Cure... Houndoom is threatening Taunt. I can switch Garganacl out if I have to. Please don't wake up Archaladon. Woke up. Okay. What did it do? Flash Cannon to Ninetales? I'm okay with that. That didn't even take a KO. Doesn't quite drop the damage, but it's in Blizzard range now. It's also in Freeze Dry range, so Pelipper coming back is not even the end of the world. If I switch Garganacl out here, I lose the Moringa Berry boost, but I also lose the Taunt. I think it's probably worth it. Also, if I get rid of our Chaladon here, they're down to just Pelipper and Masquerain, and what do they have for Scarf Goldango, right? U-turn. Scarf Pelipper. Okay, so I don't get the KO in our Chaladon. Well, I do get the KO in our Chaladon, but it gets to do something first. And that something is an Electro Shot, +2 Electro Shot into Sylveon. I've given up weather control. Actually, in a Scarf Pelipper, that's not good, is it? I think I might want to stall a bit with Garganacl. I'm going to double protect this turn, see what they do, and also kill a turn of rain. I might be able to lose to the Scarf Pelipper, actually. I really might. Salt Cure and Pelipper and Hyper Voice. And the game ended, and I still have a Pokemon in the back, so I don't think I lost. Nice. Garganacl still tanked the hits, despite not having the Moringa Berry boost anymore. Sylveon KOs Masquerain, Salt Cure KOs Pelipper. Just with the initial attack, no residual damage needed. Good stuff. This team is obviously really good, but it is pretty scary to use. But I guess if you're a player, if you're the player who built it and it really, really suits your particular playstyle, then you're comfier with it than most. It is, again, obviously very strong. You just have to be ready for it. I don't love that I'm running into so many other Moringa Berry Garganacl. It's just not a very pleasant... This matchup I can't really call a mirror because all the other Pokemon are different, but you know what I mean when I say it's not really a pleasant mirror. I don't remember what Bitter Malice does, by the way. But they have Choice Band Dragapult. They have Grassy Seed Goldango with Nasty Plot. They have Hisuian Zoroark. They have Moringa Berry Garg. They have Assault Vest Rillaboom, and they have White Herb coaching the Sneasler. And I don't know what to do into this matchup. Incineroar beats like their whole team except Garg, and to a lesser extent Sneasler. So I was going to say I don't know what to do except lead Ninetales Garg. I might do that anyway, but maybe I can just lead. Also, is Sneasler something... Incineroar. Also, is Sneasler something that Scyther is for? And Rillaboom? Can I bring, like... Do I need Goldango for Banded Dragapult, or can I bring, like, Incineroar... Or Ninetales, Garganacl, Incineroar, Scyther? That's something I haven't tried yet on this team. I want to get Scyther into a game eventually, so I don't know if... I think Goldango might be more optimal in one of these slots, but I am going to bring these four. Okay, Garg and Rillaboom. I think turn one I'll just protect. I really do like well-built teams that use kind of a different game plan or a different play style and force me to think more. Like, I enjoy Wolf, Glix, Perish Trap teams for the same kind of reason. I'm certainly a lot worse with those teams than Wolf is, but they're fun to use. I'm going to Blizzard here because I don't want to let Rillaboom... I don't want a Terra in front of this, but I don't want to let this smack my rock. So I'm going to Blizzard and Stealth Rock. Maybe I should have... Okay, yeah, they terrify. I probably should have Aurora Veiled. Yeah, that was silly, actually. Do I lose now? I wonder what Close Combat does to their Garganacl. I know what Stealth Rock does to this Scyther. That's for sure. Also thinking about the Terra Ice on Ninetales, but I don't know. Sorry, I was looking at another window for a second. If the model stopped moving, that's usually why. Oh, I crit the Rillaboom with that Blizzard. Close Combat does not KO. Okay, should have Terra Iced. Good to know. Terra Ice could have made the difference there. Also, what was I saving my Terra for? Nothing. I should have just Terra Iced. Alright. Well, I didn't play this one right, but it happens. Probably play until one more loss, but like I said, I don't have a ton of time to record, so depending on how long the games are, maybe I'll stop short of that. I do think this one is definitely a loss. There might be some creative way that my opponent can throw, but I think Sneasler pretty straightforwardly wins it from here. Maybe if they let me have the Sneasler. No. Maybe Terrafire and Incineroar would have been helpful there. It's fine. This game was... I don't deserve to win this game. If I just click that Terra Ice on Ninetales, I'd probably still lose to Sneasler, but it's a little bit more interesting. Anyway, I'll play until one more loss or until I don't really have time anymore. Volcarona, Palafin, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Electabuzz, Annihilate. This is interesting. You know, I think I've seen 2 Palfa in this session, right? You don't really see a lot of Palfa anymore. But it is sort of a classic Fire, Water, Grass balance mon. In fact, I think my first ever Reg H team, I have a video on it, you can fact check me if you want, but I think my first ever Reg H team was built around this very trio. Palafin, Rillaboom, and Incineroar. Fake out bros are admittedly pretty annoying to deal with. Let's just do this. How do I beat Palafin with this team? Sylveon might be nice because it can tank a hit and hit back hard. I'm not that sold on Goldango in this matchup. Although, I mean, I could Power Gem into the fire types. And make a rain damage is always nice into the others. Although, they have a lot of steel resists, actually. I'm going to bring Incineroar and Sylveon to this one. Oh, they have an Annihilate. Is this the Scyther game? They don't have the Mousehold duo. I'm going to bring Incineroar and Sylveon. Alpha and Annihilate lead. Okay. I can Aurora Veil. I'm just worried about a final Gambit. Maybe I Aurora Veil and switch to Sylveon then. I was thinking about attacking Annihilate. That was an option too, but maybe if I'm worried about a final Gambit into Garg, I just preserve the Garg. Goes for Rage Fist. Okay. No boosts on that yet. Let's see if they let me have a Yawn into it. I would not mind forcing the Annihilate, or at least pressuring the Annihilate to switch out. Does Yawn activate my Throat Spray? I think it does. Oh, there's the final Gambit. I would rather trade Sylveon for that than Garg, so I'm okay with this, I think. Palafin is a threat, for sure. But Ninetales has snow-boosted defense, it has super effective Freeze Dry, and I have Terra Flying on Garg, so Palafin is not like the end of the world to deal with. They just let me Freeze Dry it. Oh, they get a Liquidation drop, that's not great. For me. I think I switch out to Incineroar now, even if I'm sacking it to a Jet Punch. I think I'm okay with that. The Stealth Rock might not be very valuable, because if they do just throw off a Jet Punch and I knock out Palafin, then they're never switching anything again. Yeah, I think I need to get rid of this defense drop, unfortunately. Liquidation, wow. A lot of Palafin just spam Jet Punch and Wave Crash. Parting Shot into Ninetales. They're weakening the... oh, okay, that's a good Stealth Rock target. They're weakening the Freeze Dry, but... I mean, can I... Nope, because they switch. Therefore, I can't. Okay, if they knock out Ninetales this turn, then I get Garganacl back in and I can Quick Recover. That could actually be very valuable. As could that Incineroar Freeze. This is really awkward, actually. My stuff ran out at not a great time. Quick knockoff into Volk. I might lose to this Volcarona now. Yeah, I just switched Garganacl in on a Fiery Dance. And I don't have enough damage. Flare Blitz and hope for the best. How do I beat the Palafin then? I just need Ninetales to knock it out with Freeze Dry. It's not that different from what I was already trying to do. Oh, Volcarona survives the Flare Blitz. Okay, that's probably GG. Maybe not. Might as well try to recover. They won't let me, but I might as well try. But yeah, they're focused on damaging the Garganacl, and I got the lucky freeze into Incineroar, which, you know, that is lucky, but on the other hand, I've clicked so many Blizzards this video and not gotten a ton of freezes, so... You know, you do it enough times, and this does happen. Don't have Protect on Incineroar. Most Incineroar don't run Protect, but especially not Assault Vest Incineroar. I'll probably just lose to their Incineroar, but... They are unlucky with these freeze turns. That thing has been frozen for quite a while. They say, so lame in the chat, which I get where they're coming from. The thing that I said... Oh, all right. The thing that I said is true about I've clicked this so many times and... it was going to freeze eventually, but I don't think this is the first freeze I got this video. Was it? But I haven't gotten a ton. But my opponent hasn't been there for all those other games. They said JKEZ in the chat. Easy if you're American. Alright. Well, they can have that one. I know I said that was going to be the last game, but I did like nothing with this Scyther. So I'm going to do one more game, and I'm going to bring Scyther even if the matchup doesn't make sense. And we'll see what it can do. Wow, Hisui and Sneasel. I guess that's a Scyther target. I mean, it kind of is, right? Hisui and Sneasel does not get Dire Claw. Why are they running it? What does it do? Oh man, it's a rain team with our Chaladon, so it's a really scary matchup to just be messing around bringing suboptimal Pokemon. But I said I would do what I said I would do. Let's go. Incineroar and Sneasel. I could have led Scyther into this, although it would have gotten intimidated. I can switch Scyther in. Stealth Rock, if they let me. They fake out the Scyther. They poison jab the Scyther. That hits pretty hard. Let me have your Sneasel, please. I want it. Please let this connect into your Sneasel and not your Chaladon, please. don't let me give your Chaladon 2 boosts here. Ah. Well, Scyther's still here. They only parting shotted. They didn't flare blitz it. Pelipper comes in on the Salt Cure. That's good. Big damage. Big damage. I can switch Ninetales in, but they can poison jab it. Do you think this is another Scarf Pelipper? We're not going to go 3 for 3 on Scarf Pelipper, are we? Terrastellar Sneasel, okay. Not Scarf Pelipper. Sneasel just gets wiped out by that dual wing beat. Alright, Scyther got to do its job once in this video. You love to see it. Let's change the weather on them here. Pelipper's about to faint. And because of the Stealth Rock, it can't even switch out and back in. And let's go for Assault Cure into our Chaladon. So yeah, the combination of Stealth Rock and Salt Cure gives me weather control here. We get the Moringa Berry off of the Pelipper. So even if that Electro Shot had gone through, it would have gone into +1 special defense. Salt Cure doesn't care about stamina. The initial attack does, but not the chip damage. They're down to their last 2 Pokemon already, so this is their last chance to fake out in this game. We'll just protect around that. They shouldn't have any way to change the weather. This Electro Shot will go into protect as well. Scyther obliterated that Sneasel. Good last game for the video, yeah? Thought I played one more. Terraflying just to hedge for like a Flash Cannon. Because I can't single turn Electro Shot. Ah, it hedges for that too, yeah. Any last freeze? No. It's in our parting shots, but can't go anywhere because there are no Pokemon in the back. Salt Cure takes out our Chaladon. Salt Cure will soon take out Incineroar. Salt Cure does so much damage into water and steel types. I guess that is a big part of how this team deals with the absolute menace that is our Chaladon. I was scared every time I faced an Chaladon this video, but with Salt Cure, Snow Warning, and Yawn on Sylveon, there was always a way through them. So yeah, that's definitely a good one to end on. We got to see Scyther put in a little bit of work. It's a super fun team. It is not the easiest to use, and it's definitely scary to use, but sometimes it can be good practice to use an unusual, difficult, kind of scary team. I do kind of feel similarly to how I do when I try to pick up a Wolf Glick Perish Trap team, although this is not as far out there as those are. Super strong team for sure. If you do use it, you might run into opposing Garganacl, and it's not a super fun mirror, but honestly, that wasn't that terrible in this laddering session. It's definitely not as bad as the Dondozo stuff from early regulations. So, like I said, I don't think the creators' EVs are out there, but like, I just indexed into a lot of bulk on most of these Pokemon and speed on the appropriate ones. You can figure it out. And it's definitely worth picking up if you want some practice with something that you might not have tried out before. Anyway. Don't know what next time will be. Maybe that Espathra team from Frankfurt. Maybe I'll find something else. But this is about as good as it gets for a tournament Team Tuesday. Excellent start to the season.